Well, hello and welcome again. This is take two to cover Zeus's chariots tonight, which, believe it or not, we're not talking about Zeus's bounty. And I do have my friend Beth, the Queen of Spade, with me. Beth, thank you so much for entertaining everybody while I was trying to figure crap out and finally did. I just couldn't do it with the pressure of like, oh my God, people are waiting. I'm freaking the F out. And so that was me.
It's okay. Technical difficulties happen. I've had them. I've done like a 20 minutes of a stream before with my mic being completely unplugged somehow and like not noticed and then gone back in and then had everyone be like, "We can't hear you." And I'm like, "Oh my God, that was like half an hour ago." They have been listening to nothing for half an hour. So it happens. Honestly, I I'm just here to listen to Timmy here explain to me, because I did go in a little rant in our last video to keep us going, about how the NFTs are supposed to help us with the business that he's running. And as you mentioned in the last stream, they did come out with their Zoom.
Yes, and it is called, hold on just a minute and I'll tell you what it's called. ZB Webinar. So, I
Oh
mean, if
Lord.
they can come out with it, why is Ash taking so damn long with his?
Well, that's the thing, is like this is how long it would actually take. Especially since, as we've talked about, I'm pretty sure he's forking everything or stealing it like from another site and then just using theirs if he's not forking it to make his own. So you would think he would be way quicker.
You would think.
But apparently not. Apparently, it takes him at least 5 years to do what Tim here can do in less than 5 months. So, Ash, you got some competition here, dude.
And you're not doing so well.
Yeah, I think you're losing.
Hats off to Timmy for, getting something. We
Well,
don't know how
yeah,
good
even
it
though
is.
we don't support this business model and what they're doing, he is one step up than Ash is, because of the fact that, yes, they
He got
actually
something
do.
out quick. He got a product out.
Yeah, and even the Chariot race technically is something. Like, even though we don't like it and we find it scammy, it is still something that they're putting together that it looks like they're going to start really soon. So he's making moves while Ash is doing a lot of nothing but talking. So
Well, the talk that he does do, which Tim does better talking than Ash. He actually sounds like a human and doesn't stumble and stammer over everything and tries to like actually explain something, which again, Ash Mafara kind of fails at that. Take out the kinda.
And I feel like he also comes with a mission and a plan for what he's going to talk about and then tries to wrap it up like pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he knows when he wants to stop talking, whereas I feel like when I'm listening to Ash, I have no clue
Right.
when he's going to stop. Like, I'm like, this thing could go on for another 4 hours. Like,
Yep. Absolutely. Just making some tags up there. This was also quick, but oh, yes, Lamar, we are back. I figured it out. I'm just not functioning well mentally right now with my back pain, but I figured out a way to do it. I can't do it the way that I normally do it, but I found a way. Kind of like what is that movie? It's Jurassic Park. Nature finds a way. I guess Alonda finds a way. So here we are. Hey, Joe. Thanks for coming back, guys.
so we still have Zeus here, but now he's holding a chest.
Yeah.
He's a
Well,
little different looking.
this is the actual logo, but the one that he had in going on emails, it was a different Zeus than this one.
Yeah.
And it's now changed to just be a Z and a B. And I kind of
Ah.
wonder, like, did he hear us say you took that from Shutterstock and he decided I better put something on there that's not from Shutterstock?
Well, yeah, because it looks kind of crappy when you're trying to brand as a business and then you're just using a Shutterstock photo. Like, Yeah, you know, especially when we're going into NFTs, because let's be real, most of NFTs, by the way, is art, graphics, things like this. So please know how to do that at least before you.
Or at least hire someone, you know?
Yeah, you know, but like don't just go steal something off of Shutterstock and then be like, "Oh, this is going to be my logo and now I'm going to start NFTs where people are going to be buying like really like digital artwork is all it really is." So, it just doesn't look good.
Yeah. All right. So let's see what Timmy has to say. What do you say? And I
All
don't
right.
know if I can change the speed on this or not since I'm doing it literally through StreamYard. It doesn't look like I can.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
We'll have to write StreamYards about that and be like, "Listen."
We need to do this.
Yeah.
Hey, Daniel. Good to see you, buddy. I just promoted you to panelist in case you want to talk.
Can you hear
I might
okay?
just be able to unmute everybody all at once. But
Yeah, we're good.
ability in a webinar. Still have a problem. Well, work on it tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, let us know. We're definitely here to help. You know that probably as well as anybody.
That's better.
So if you hear any background noise, that's probably my 18-year-old son having a fit over a game. Or it's Nicole in the other room having a founders, co-founders meeting. Like I said, I accidentally double booked. I went to go schedule this webinar. Didn't see anything else scheduled. Went ahead and scheduled it. And then she told me like 30 minutes later after I sent out the email that she had one at 4:30, but it was scheduled on ZB webinar. So that's the way that went down. I'm going to just kind of unmute some folks if you guys wanted to talk. I like to see squares on the screen.
Obviously, I didn't
People
want to
being
talk.
involved.
So I recorded this. I was not in the room. So Beth, you and I are hearing it for the first time, but apparently I guess I was unmuted and, so this just stays up there for the rest of it. And if that bothers anyone, you're just going to have to deal with it because that's how it is.
I'm sorry, everybody. We'll be okay, though. It's more what they're saying.
Exactly.
I can still see their faces, too.
Well, does come up over some like PowerPoint slides, but there's nothing I can do about it. And it's like, what can I say? I didn't want to sit here by myself and listen to Timmy. I wanted to listen to Timmy with Beth.
Yeah, that's more fun.
If you have anything bad to say, just go ahead and mute yourself first. And you can say anything you want as long as you're muted.
Hey, we got the same artist on board still?
Nice to see a lot of familiar faces on here, a lot of familiar names, and a lot of
Angel, not much. We just started.
unfamiliar names too, so that's always nice. Tim McHugh, how you doing, buddy?
Wait, hold on. Can you pause this for a sec?
Yeah.
This says the host would like you to speak.
Yeah.
So does that mean that he was asking you to get on and speak?
He was unmuting different people. And yeah, he was like, say anything that you want to kind of thing. And I wasn't around because I was cooking dinner.
Oh my goodness. Could you imagine if you were sitting there and then he like unmuted you and was like, talk, please? You're a scam, Tim.
Right.
Hey, Martin. Man, I swear, dude, your box of goodies are making me fat. I need to find you so I can unmute you. You can answer a question for me. There you go. Ask to unmute. Those sprinkles, you guys put those on bread or how do you treat those things? On bread. You put anything else on the bread or just the sprinkles? Martin sent me this giant box of goodies. Almost everything. And inside the goodies was a box of powdered sugar. So everything had this film of powder on it. Yeah, it is awesome.
He doesn't sound too
Really
pleased.
enjoying it. Nicole really loves the Stroop waffles. They're really good. Chocolates are delicious. We thank you so much for that. That is awesome. I do have a little chocolate problem, I have to admit. Clint, good to see you, buddy.
I hope he didn't
Tim
put that on
McCoy,
bread.
nice to see you. Jay, Greg, Eric Knox. Awesome. Good to see everybody. We're going to start in just a minute. Let a few more people pile in here. I don't think Nicole's even close to finishing up. So it seems like ZB Webinar is holding up really well over there, though. It's working good. Hey, Raju, good to see you. Man, have you guys been reading any of the news and the headlines going on about these NFTs and all these corporations scrambling to get into the metaverse, filing all kinds of trademarks to secure their spots? It's insane what's going on. You know, it's going to be a mad scramble for a while as these corporations and companies keep building out their metaverses. And, you know, I think the real cool thing that can happen with that, what is the limit for ZB Webinar? 100 to 500? So the version you guys get, the upgraded version, is 500 seats for ZB Webinar without any monthly expense, which for me is $80 a month. This Zoom is $80 a month for 500 seats. So, but I think where the real gold mine is going to be is the company that comes in and builds something that ties all these different metaverses together into one big metaverse, like on Ready Player One. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie or not, but I highly recommend it. It's a really cool movie. Can kind of give you an idea about the direction we're heading. Probably not to that extreme, but it's going to be massive. Like, the gaming crypto industry could possibly want to be one of the biggest industries that ever existed. And right now it's just a teeny tiny baby. So let's just go ahead and crack in. I'm going to go ahead and start recording in progress. I'm going to turn on some transcripts.
So I guess he's not using
we need
ZB
those last
Webinar.
sold, guys. Yeah, yes, we do. We're going to get them sold. And you know what? There is no super giant rush because building out this whole thing is a process. And we're going to give you an idea of exactly what that timeline might look like, what we're angling for. You guys see my screen? Just type a 1 in the chat or give me a thumbs.
Okay, I do have to say, what he's about to show us is kind of what we've been saying that Ash should come out with to talk to people about on passive, of showing a plan. So even if this like crashes and burns and, you know, we're not behind it, we don't think this is a great idea, we still think it just rings scam to us, at least there is a plan in place, some kind of vision that's being laid out.
Yeah, for sure. And at least Tim can explain like what they're doing.
Right.
I feel like Ash can't even explain what they're even doing when it's happening.
No, he just talks about having heart.
Yeah, like he just kind of makes it up as he goes, I feel like. Whereas I do feel like Tim came here to do the business and he had some kind of plan for what he wanted the business to be and how he wanted it to go. And he is sharing a lot more of that information than Ash has.
Absolutely.
That's all good things.
Yeah. Still not behind it.
So yeah, we still don't like what it is, but we will point out the things that at least this is happening.
Thumbs up or somebody unmute and tell me. Yes, you can see my screen. Okay, cool. So I'm going to get into my slide deck. So I've never gone through this before. I just built this today. Oops. Let me shrink these windows. get this down here.
Oh, and earlier when I said it was a ZB for, in the emails, it's a ZC for Zeus's Chariots. I'm kind of wondering if he has pulled back away from Zeus's Bounty because everything seems to be more about the chariots.
Well, see, the thing is I've been wondering if maybe Zeus's Bounty was a front for the chariots anyway.
Yeah.
Because it does appear like most of what he's putting into this is going into the chariots. And yeah, like he's already working on this, but they've only released the one ZB webinar. So I feel like if the main focus was on the Zeus's Bounty part of the business, this wouldn't even be a thing right now until that was done. Because Tim isn't as disorganized as Ash. Right? Like Ash would pull something like this and just not know what order for it to be in. Whereas I feel like Tim dropping this right now when they only have the one software product is kind of like he's showing us that this is really what it was about. And he's kind of already said that. He's alluded that like all of this was for these races.
So Johnny, are you saying there's no trademark for Zeus's Bounty or Zeus's Chariots? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, probably, because right there it says trademark right next to it. And I would be interested to go and find the trademark because you will find a lot of these businesses, especially these cryptocurrency ones, by the way, since I've been diving into a bunch more of them lately too. They all put trademark, but they don't actually go and pay. You have to go and pay for that. You can't just put the little TM and then be like, I'm trademarked. And it is true. A lot of these companies right now are doing this and they don't actually have a trademark. So I would not be surprised if these guys were doing that too.
Seems to be a thing. Okay.
It is for some reason. I don't know. It's like the new thing now to be like, I'm trademarked, but they just put the TM. Whoever made it ready to get that, I'm mad at.
You guys still seeing my screen all right?
And again, sorry that the host would like you to speak is over it. I was in the other room.
Well, we can tell that's a ZC. Like that's their new
logo.
Awesome. All right.
Awesome.
Move all this nonsense out of my way.
My daughter could have drawn that. She said.
I want to welcome everybody to Zeus's Chariots. We are a registered trademark. We are.
Yeah, I know he puts everything on the
licensed
left, so
LLC.
We'd still be able to read.
And we are going to be a play to earn game, which is NFT driven. And if you don't know a whole bunch about NFTs, that's okay. They're all the buzz and all the rage lately, and you can learn about them as we go along. Our game is going to be able to be played in virtual reality with an Oculus 2 headset or on the web. We're going to have one other access point, and I don't remember exactly what that is yet. It's a technical term. I don't think it's something that we're going to be able to play on our phone. I just think it's going to be too involved.
Now, my issue with this whole headset thing and them making it a virtual reality game is that good night, Joe.
Night, Joe.
Is that those systems are expensive, especially right now because it's
I think like $300 bucks.
So you have to think that now anyone that wants to play it that way also then has to go and buy that.
Right.
And like you can't expect people to go do that. So he better be providing. It better be included somehow or something. Because otherwise, I don't see a lot of people being able to go and spend the $300 in order to do this virtual reality. And it's the case with virtual reality. You need a bunch of people to do it. There's only like 3 people doing the virtual. That'll be boring.
Well, I think it was in one of the other ones that we did for people who are getting the NFT cards, the like founder cards or whatever of this art, that he's including an Oculus headset with it. But that's only for those people, not for just the general public, so to speak.
Yeah, so then my thing is, so then what? Is he going to be doing that for every single person that signs on to this thing? How long does that last for?
Well,
like, you know what I mean? Then, like, where's that money coming from?
He had 250 of those, and he's down to, I think, 120 of these. Let me look and make sure, because it said in the email.
I mean, he could completely go and make a deal with a company that makes them and get like a bulk order, which is what I feel like he would have done here. If
Okay,
he's
they
getting, like,
sold
250.
130 founder cards, so he has 120 more to go.
Okay. So yeah, that I could kind of see him making a deal with like a company and then doing that. But like then after these 3 are gone, then what? And how did he get these 300 that he just got? With what money? Is it
I
ever the founder's money here? Like this
yeah,
confuses me and is very suspicious to me because again, this is a brand new business. They haven't made money yet. They're kind of just starting. So the only money they've made is just like on passive. It's a sign up fee.
right.
So
Well,
now we're talking about a Ponzi scheme where people have all signed up and then Timmy here goes and spends all their money on headsets to send to the other people that sign up. Like that's what I see happening
that's
here.
what I
It's
see. Yeah.
not good. None
And
of it's
also
good.
using the money from Zeus's Bounty that we've covered,
Yeah.
to afford all this.
Yeah, like
Oh,
I
too
can't see him doing it all.
much going on. That's yet to be determined. And keep in mind that everything that we discuss here tonight is yet to be determined. Nothing is set in stone.
Now
I
he
am not
sounds
a
like that.
financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Everything here is pure speculation based on research and based on the things that we've learned and where we know that we're going as the
You
company.
do gotta at least give
It's going to
them
be
a
high action,
disclaimer.
high rewards, 100% original. We are using 0 repurposed gaming assets. And if you're not familiar with it, there's a company, there's a couple of websites out there. One of them is unityassets.com. The other is Unreal Engine, where you can go and you can buy people, monsters, guns, environments, all these other things. And then you can build yourself a little game. And lots of companies are doing that. And they're making a ton of money doing that. But that is not what we're doing. Everything that we're doing is going to be 100% unique and original. All of our races, they're going to be chariot races, in case you didn't gather that, are going to take place in an ancient hippodrome. All these hippodromes were used for over 3,000 years. The Circus Maximus, which was one of the most famous hippodromes, was used for over 1,000 years. They held chariot races there, horse races there, all kinds of ceremonies and events in the Circus Maximus. Our hippodromes are going to be like a beefed up, bigger version of the Circus Maximus. And even that is completely designed from the ground up, from scratch. We hired a 2D blueprint artist that wrote the blueprints for it. And we've just gotten back our very first little glimpse of what the architecture looks like. And it's really amazing. And it takes a while to build this whole thing out. And we're going to show you what we can as we move along, but we can't give away too much stuff. We can't show you too many things. And that's because, in case you don't know it, there's a bunch of thieves out there that want to steal everything that somebody does and duplicate it and mimic it and clone it and sell it for themselves. So we're going to show you what we can, but we also can't give away too much.
Whoa, hold on. Pause.
So in case you didn't know it, the highest paid
Did he just say that they're going to make it, duplicate it, copy it, and then sell more of it?
It sounded like that.
Okay, you can't do that. One of the biggest issues right now with NFTs and all this cryptocurrency stuff is that people are copying it and like redoing it up and then reselling it. Like that's considered scammy in that industry already.
Oh.
Like you're not, once you make the NFT, there's only one original NFT of that type, right? That it's supposed to be like
Right.
the authentic, like, and then there's only so much that you could sell of each one. And it's a lot like gambling, and my husband's into the whole card selling thing. It's a lot like that, where it's, you got one, and then it has a number attached to it, an ID, if you will. And that's basically what you buy, is you're just buying the ID of this digital card, right? That's what an NFT is. So then if you take that and duplicate it, then now you're selling a fake one. It would be like me taking, okay, you know, like I was talking to you guys about the monkey NFTs that Paris Hilton bought in the last stream, where I'm basically just ranting for 15 minutes. It was great fun. And it's that sort of thing. So it would be like me taking the picture of one of those monkeys, like I did in my, what was her name? The Crocodile of Wall Street video. And I showed you guys one of the monkey NFTs in that video.
Yeah.
It would be like if I copied that picture and then I resold that picture as an NFT. You can't do that. Like once you create the NFT, like that's it. That's the one. So he technically, you can't copy it. You can't duplicate it. You can't make several copies of the same one unless you make them all different. They all have to have different IDs.
Wow.
So he needs to like figure all that out before he even gets into this industry. Because that's literally one of the biggest scams right now, is they have people creating these fake blockchains and then selling fake NFTs that are actually just picture copies of like the real ones. And if it doesn't have the specific ID, then it's not worth anything. And that's kind of why this whole thing is so scary. As someone that speaks out against scams, this is why this kind of thing horrifies us, because there is no way to always ensure the authenticity of the NFT you're buying. So you could come into a business like this thinking that you're going to buy these great NFTs, and then you find out down the line after you've poured in $60,000 into them that actually you were buying fake copies. And then when you go to pull out your money, of course, it's all gone.
Wow.
And they've had straight up like exit scams created like this. There was a guy actually like a year ago in Toronto, Ontario, that got caught for like basically doing that. He was making like fake NFTs out of other people's actual NFTs. Just copying the picture, downloading the picture, and then putting them on a fake website. And then people were buying them thinking it was the NFT. So like if he's going to get in the realm of like copying them or making several of one without keeping track and all this other stuff, like that's really dangerous territory just in general.
Athlete in history was a charioteer. His last name was Diosceles or something of that fashion. And he made the equivalent of what is today would be $15 billion racing chariots. Charioteers were actually the heroes of the time. And chariot races were super dangerous and many died. Diosceles ran in over 4,000 chariot races and won like 2,700 of them. So he was balling back in the day in ancient Greece.
Oh God, that hurts so much.
Okay, I'm just thinking, since he's mixing up Greek
Yes.
gods with Roman gods, why doesn't he just call it Jupiter's chariot races instead of Zeus's chariot races?
I'm having such a hard time with this whole thing. I just
Why not
can't.
just switch it? You know, it's really, really bothering me.
Hello, darkness. No, like I can't stand. And then, oh my God, he really needs to learn his mythology if he's going to be doing this. It's driving me insane. He keeps mixing up Roman with Greece, and then he said this guy was ballin' back in, and I gave up. I was like, wow. Then we went there, and here we are. He's one of those like trying to be cool with the kid dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's getting a little cringe, Tim. Please reel that in a little bit. Don't say the word balling. You're a boomer. It's okay to be a boomer. You're wise. You're older. Don't try to talk like a 19-year-old, please.
NFTs and NFT games are trending right now. They are super, super hot. You don't even really have to have anything huge or fantastic in order to cash in on this craze. You guys have probably seen it on your Facebook feeds, in Twitter, on Instagram, wherever you're at. NFTs are everywhere. And NFT games are turning the tables by making success one after another. They come out, they're successful. Sometimes their economies aren't that great. Their tokenomics weren't that well thought out, and they stumble and fall, but they were a good run. Those are like the Gen Zero games. Believe it or not, NFT is going to be the future of all the assets, not just like games or art. It's going to be everything. It's going to be mortgages are going to be written on the blockchain in an NFT. It's going to interrupt every single business model that we know of because the theft risk is so minimal. When everything's locked in on the blockchain, I know we hear about all these hacks and things going on with these different exchanges or wallets. But at the end of the day, it's more secure than anything else that has been developed to this point. And with the advent of NFTs, many companies are launching into the NFT game space. I told you about all the corporations at the beginning of this when we were waiting, scrambling to get into the NFT space, scrambling to get their trademarks registered. So McDonald's, Nike, Adidas, Burger King, it goes on and on and on. The list is so long, we could be here all night just going through the list.
I swear to God,
they don't even know what they're going to be doing.
I'm going to go
Nobody
there,
really knows
and I'm going to be like Tiger Woods' wife.
What is the metaverse? Why are people doing this? Well, they are. Why? I don't know, but they are. And we are going to be right there at the forefront of it. So are you planning to invest in any NFT projects? You should really, really research them, because this is going to be one of the biggest spaces that ever existed. I want you to be involved in our game, but there are so many more great things that you could also be involved in. Just make sure you always do your own research, okay? Because there's a lot of shiny objects out there. You got to understand what the project is about. You got to understand the creators, their tokenomics, why their NFT is going to be valuable. Does it have a real world purpose, or is it just a piece of art? Is it a company that's just saying they're going to bring out a game? You wouldn't believe what is happening in this space. I didn't include this example in these slides today, but I want to mention it. Back on February 7th of this year, a company called Pixelmon did an NFT launch, and within 3 hours, they raised over $70 million for 10,000 NFTs. They had released no art. Nobody knew what they were buying. When they released the art on February 26th,
I hadn't heard of releasing art and making that amount of money and nobody knew what they were buying. That sounds incredibly dangerous.
Actually, one of the biggest sales ever in NFT was a guy spent it was almost $69 million on something he thought was artwork as an NFT. Yeah, people like my video today, I even read an article of this woman from a museum that has done digital artwork, worked in museums for years, helped runs the museums, all this stuff. And she was basically talking about how this is going to mess up museums, how they spend so much time trying to look at the authenticity of artwork in the museums. And then this stuff happens where they literally buy art and have no clue what it is. And again, that's why it's so easy to scam. But the thing is, Tim's talking like this is a good thing. And like you just paused it. And I'm sitting here freaking out because this is not a good thing. This is not like a braggy flex moment to be like, oh, people buy stuff with these and they don't even know what they're buying. That's not good, Tim. Like,
makes me uncomfortable.
But exactly, that's the issue with this. Is that's basically the biggest issue, is that you never know what you're buying. Because you can make a fake NFT, like I said earlier, make a fake ID number and then just sell it on a fake website. People are losing hundreds of $1,000s to this in both of our countries in the last couple of years. Like, it's insane.
Would
And
not,
it's scary. It's scary. And that's why I say do not do this, because there's literally no way to track it. There's no consumer protection in any of this. Here in Canada, they just opened up a website that they announced today on the news, where a bunch of people are trying to get together to get their money back from NFTs and cryptocurrency scams, because there's not even a way for you to properly report this right now. Like, so it really is gambling. You don't know what you're buying. You can spend thousands upon thousands of dollars on something that doesn't exist. And then there's no way to trace it. And again, these people just disappear with your money. It's horrifying.
It was garbage. It was so bad. But yet they raised $70 million. It's insanity that's happening out there right now. So if you're looking into any of the NFT projects out there, if you're looking into NFTs at all, then you're in the right place. Some of these top NFT games, the one that's out there right now, Axie Infinity, a lot of you have probably heard of it. This is one of the biggest NFT play-to-earn model games that are out there today, and they had their problems, right? They were using Ethereum when they launched, and it was far too inefficient for the microtransactions that were happening in their game. They actually ended up building out their own blockchain platform called Ronin that could handle all of their microtransactions that were happening in the game. And those microtransactions, this is the old data that I pulled. It says projected sales of 1 billion in 2021. They did 4 billion. Okay. This game cost about $3,000 to start playing now, and you can earn about $20 a day. Okay. And they did 4 billion in sales last year. And they're a new company. It's a pretty new concept. Gods Unchained, they've been around since 2018. They've done over $89 billion in their game. Illuvium, this game hasn't even launched yet. You can find this on Binance. You can go look at CoinMarketCap. They already have a market cap of $838 million with their coin, and they haven't even launched yet. So where we're at in our current phase is we're in the production phase. Everything that we raise from people buying these founders cards is what's actually paying for the creation of the game, which is why we're offering what we're offering to everybody. So we're still.
Okay, at least he's telling everybody it's, crowdfunding, unlike what Ash has done, which, he's not saying that. He's saying, I'm just keeping your money in an account and it will be used for the marketing. At least Tim is being upfront saying, you pay this money and this is what you're getting for it. And I'm using your money to build this game.
I also got to give him the fact that at the beginning of this, he did do a disclaimer saying that he was not giving financial advice and that none of this is like a for sure way to get returns. Most people don't say that. We know Ash would never say that. He just started saying the whole income thing because of us, basically. So it's like, I do have to say, at least he is being a bit more realistic with everything with his people. But I also want to bring up that does not at all mean that it's any less scammy.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because he's willing to say these things does not mean he's not scamming. Yeah, basically that too, right? It's like, I think they also know that they're being watched by quite a few of us now that don't like these scams. So they don't want to make sure that they're following the rules. But that's the other thing. This industry is not regulated.
That's a problem.
So you have no regulation. You have no consumer protection. You have no way to report when you're like out of money. Like they rip you off and take off with your money. And that's everywhere. That's every single country. We're all in the same position where this is basically just like gambling. So if you are going to do this, and you must, make sure that you never invest more than you're willing to kiss goodbye. That's the best advice I can give if you must do Bitcoin, crypto, NFT stuff, because the chances of you actually buying what you're buying or ever getting money in return is very slim. A lot of people have even put money into blockchains, went to get the return, doesn't exist. So consider it like gambling. Don't put anything in unless you're willing to kiss it goodbye.
Hammering out even the details of our very game concept, how it's going to be played. What's it look like when two chariots crash together? What's it sound like? What happens to the charioteer? All these things are still being figured out as we move along. So right now we have 2 unique game pieces completed. Our environment is about 2 weeks out from being complete. I told you we've seen the first snippets of it. And then our NFT page is being created. We're going to be having hand-drawn characters, which is huge. And I'm going to show you, how huge that is and what the keys are to this. And then our marketing department is being vetted. We've already hired our 3D developers. We've hired our Unity developer. We're vetting the marketing department because marketing is just as big as everything else. And then the art is really, really important. So nothing is written in stone yet. I've told you that here. Anything that we discuss here tonight is mere projections, speculation, at best educated guesses. Okay. But as we move through this creation process, things can change. We have many options on the table for how players can get rewarded. And we've hired a law firm to ensure all of our legalities. So all of these games, they're doing things that you would look at and go, well, that's gambling. How can they do this? But yet there's hundreds of them doing it because there doesn't really seem to be any law or regulation right now for blockchain crypto games. Much like there isn't for our smart contract. But we don't want to be the ones that are made examples of. We don't want to be excluded for countries because we're considered a gambling establishment. We want to make sure that how we organize and structure this game is fun, legal, and rewarding. So we're going to cover all of our bases. Our potential timeline, what we expect is anytime from like April to May, we're going to release our NFT page that you can see. On that NFT page is going to be all of our hand-drawn charioteers, all of our NFT characters, along with like at least a 45-second clip of the game footage. If not, maybe even a little tiny version that you could test out and run around the track. We don't know what we can accomplish in this time frame. Around May, we're going to start the big promotion and the building of our community. That's where it's at. Pixelmon did what they did because they built a massive community on Discord, Telegram, and Twitter. That was it. They hyped it up with a video of supposed gameplay that really doesn't look anything like what they showed for their art. And that's how they accomplished a sale of $70 million in NFTs in 3 hours.
Well, we know what his
by
goal
building
is.
a massive community. In June, we plan to launch round 1 of minting. We're thinking maybe around 2,500 NFTs. And we're doing it this way because we're going to have limited funds. We're going to have enough to progress in the game to the point where these rounds are going to help finish it off. But we need to set aside some of those funds for promotions. So we're only going to be able to build our community so big with the funds that we raise here. So we're going to do a limited run first, maybe 2,500 NFTs. Then we're going to take the funds raised from that and we're going to pump up the community.
Okay.
10 times, 30 times, 20 times.
What about community?
Pump it up really, really big. And then in August, we're going to do a round 2 minting of like 7,500 NFTs. And remember, nothing is set in stone. October to December, we hope our game goes live. Nothing is set in stone. There's one thing that we're not going to do in this process is rush, because we know we have something very unique. We know we have super cool.
Nobody else has games and NFTs, guys.
Tokenomics.
Only Timmy.
And if we rush it, we could fall on our face. But if we take our time, then we can make sure that this goes off
when you learn about mythology,
hitches as possible. So some of the keys to a successful NFT launch: original artwork. Okay, that is huge. It's almost like the number one thing. Original artwork,
logo,
game footage, or even a small playable test version. A novel story or approach. We have all 3 of those in spades. And then money, money, money. You get the point. It's all about promotions and money. If we can hire a celebrity for $1 million, that would knock it out of the park. Gary V, Alex Becker, somebody like that. Then it's over.
Gary V.
I mean, Alex Becker has a game called Neo Tokyo. His NFTs are $250,000 to get into his game. Right? We all know who Gary V is. And if you don't, our NFT artist, his name is Mike Stevens. This guy happens to be a personal friend of mine. It's him right here. He lives in my town. He was my Kempo instructor. Super, super talented man. Not only is he like a 3rd degree black belt in Kempo, he just tears up the guitar and he draws like nobody I've ever seen before. Super talented.
Is it NFTs?
This is a small sampling of his work. Okay, I'll let you just soak that in for a second. How awesome is this?
Not everyone.
Mind you, this is all hand drawn. Okay, hand drawn.
I don't see any chariot races.
Okay, you may notice some of the things on here. Garbage Pail Kids.
Which you can't
He's drawn
tell.
for Garbage Pail Kids.
Which you
commissioned
can't
work
tell.
for
Right, Angel?
Topps Trading Cards,
A whole thing of it.
Mad Magazine, and Star Wars. He actually has NFTs that he's drawn for Topps that are on the marketplace right now. So,
what is happening right now?
original artwork, money for promotion,
Hold
a
on, can
unique
we pause
story,
this for a second?
game footage. Check.
This guy's driving me insane right now. He keeps talking about original artwork after he just showed us his buddy drawing like it, the Garbage Pail Kids. I mean, even Billy the Fridges was more original than that. What is this? Everything literally is already owned by someone. And this is another problem. You can't just make NFTs of artwork, even if you draw it yourself, of other things that already exist that other companies have the rights to without partnering with them or buying the rights to these things. So I really hope that your buddy isn't making it and Garbage Pail Kid NFTs and selling them, because that sounds like theft. Well, yeah, I think some people though view like by hand as you like drawing in a notebook or on paper.
Yeah.
And then people see digital as you drawing like directly on the computer. Because some people don't sketch it out by hand first anymore. They used to, but now you can just go on the computer and like do the digital thing where you don't even have to like sketch it out. So I think that's what he means. But yeah, we're not using proper English with that at all. Yeah,
Here's some of the things and reasons we're different. Most 99.9% of games out there, NFT metaverse games, owning an NFT is a requirement for you to play the game. I mean, I was just checking out even more today. I do it every day. Look at these games. And they're free to play. Some are free to play, but you still have to go and buy an NFT. And some are cheap. Like one of the ones I was looking at today, the NFT was like $8. Right. And then I could go out and I could test it and play for free. But you still have to buy an NFT. Those interested in playing Zeus's Chariots are going to have the ability to rent an NFT from an NFT owner for like an hour or so. Mind you, subject to change. Okay. And then they're going to have a chance to race during that hour and win up to like $1,500. Right now, that cost in my mind is about $150. So you can come in, rent a chariot.
What kind of scam
rent
is
a
this?
chariot tier, one of your NFTs, for like $150 for an hour, race 4 or 5 times, have a chance to pick up $1,500. Seems like a pretty good deal. But mind you, subject to change, STC. When you purchase one of our charioteers, you're going to receive an Oculus 2 VR headset. Okay, so there's another step that other people have not
How do you do that if you're renting?
I told you people are making millions off of repurposed gaming assets. Silly, drawn NFTs. It's ridiculous. We're going to have spades, the cream of the crop. And on top of that, we're going to send out a physical VR headset in the mail when you purchase one of our NFT charioteers. Nobody else is doing that. We feel it's really going to create kind of a
You ever wonder why, Tim?
It's the best way to experience this game is going to be in VR. It's going to be great on the web. We're going to make sure it's fantastic no matter how you experience it. But if you haven't played any VR, like VR is pretty cool. So as an NFT owner, you're going to be able to share in the revenue generated from renting out your NFT. So it could be like every hour you're getting some cha-ching in your wallet from somebody renting an NFT. You can make money even if you never race your NFT.
Oh my God.
And this is not a super involved, complicated game. This is a simple 5 to 7 minute race. Why do I say that? I say that because these other games that take a couple of years to bring to market are super complicated. They have a lot of facets, a lot of things going on. We don't. We don't have a lot of things going on.
There's
a lot of things happening within the game, but it's just a race with chariots and a track. Like, it's pretty simple. And that's why we can feel we can get to market this year. So our revenue centers
all this is
for
just
now
a money grab to me.
are sponsorships. Every race could be sponsored by somebody. Ad revenue, I guess sponsorships is ad revenue, but in this sense, it's viewable ads and ads placed in the hippodrome somewhere. Every hippodrome
while you're in the middle
can
of
be sponsored by somebody else, another company. And we're going to have thousands of hippodromes. We can't have 10,000 NFTs and have one hippodrome where 10 people can race at a time.
Oh my God, Tim.
Am I missing something here?
No, you're not missing anything. This is the most ridiculous idea for NFTs. And trust, I've spent since you found one coin looking into this crap. And I'm trying to figure out how this is even going to work. So you buy an NFT, you rent out the NFT, then you're supposed to play in VR, and he'll send you a headset. But then how does that work if you're renting them? Let's be real, more people will probably rent than buy them to come and try it out. You know what I mean? So I don't even know how any of this is going to work. Then he thinks you're going to get sponsorships. Well, like, how is that going to work? So you're going to be doing a race?
Who the hell's going to sponsor this?
So, like, what do you want, Tim? Do you want me to get Nike to sponsor me and then I put a Nike patch on my Chariot? Like, I don't understand. Also, if you're playing a game, you don't want ads popping up. That's one of the most annoying things in the world, and people hate that. As soon as these free games or these games that cost very little money start popping out the ads, that's when people complain and leave. So I'm kind of like, where are you going with all that? It sounds like he's just trying to dip into every single way possible that he can bleed people dry with these chariot race NFTs. That's all I'm hearing, because I don't even know how this will work. And then he's claiming that part of the business, which I guess we're bringing back Zeus's Bounty in some weird way, because then you're going to rent out your Chariot NFTs and then you'll be able to make money. So then he thinks people are going to be sitting there just renting Chariots like all day long and ranking in money. And I don't see any of this coming into fruition where it would actually work.
Well,
And he has to have dropped the Zeus's Bounty stuff.
let's just say
Then-
that, the races here, I don't see people being hyped up about chariot races in this day and time versus all the other like super cool games that are out there. I mean, why? I just don't.
Again, I feel like he's like Ash, and he's depending on the fact that he and his business are just special. And he's not really thinking, because the other thing that's really driving me nuts is with his business plan of this, he's all about building a community
Yep.
before making the game. So it's another situation where it's like we got to get a bunch of people in on this before we can do it.
Yep.
Which is just very suspicious to me right off the bat. I don't trust anything like that. It's just because, okay, if you're in this and you want to make a game, you would assume that his main goal would be to develop an amazing game and one that makes people money with NFTs. That's supposed to be his like main focus, right? But his main focus seems to be on just getting a bunch of people to come sign up for this subscription to play the game and building a community of like MLM people. So and I'm trying to figure out how all of this is supposed to work. And then he also has the Zeus's Bounty. So you're mining Bitcoin over here. And then over here, you're trying to sell software like the ZB webinar for people to use for businesses. And then over here, you're renting out Chariot NFTs. Oh, yeah. Sign me up today. Like, that just sounds like insane. Like, I don't know how all of this ties in together. And this is kind of what I was saying in the last one, too. Like, I still have yet to kind of hear, like, when you win, does some of the pot go into the Zeus's Bounty pot?
Right.
Because remember, there was supposed to be that, too. We haven't heard anything about that in a while. So I'm just constantly trying to, I guess, connect it all together. And then he keeps throwing in
more
things that we're going to be doing. And none of it makes any sense, really. And again, I don't see anyone sponsoring. I have trouble getting sponsors right now because I don't have enough people subscribe.
I don't have any sponsors right now. Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like, you usually have to have like at least 10K to really get sponsors of here on YouTube, for example, right? So who the heck is going to sponsor this? Like, my head hurts. Tim,
And how much are they going to cost?
But that's the other thing. Like, and I don't know, is he talking about sponsoring within the game, or is he talking about sponsoring people in the race, like as if this was a real race? And you can get like sponsored, because there's two different types of sponsorships technically that you can get here, right? And that's the other thing. He doesn't explain which one it is, but neither of them would really work for this situation for the people either, by the way. Because technically all he could really get is his game sponsored. And that will just be paying him. So I don't know. Whew. Yeah, see, horse racing, you can, if you're horse racing and gambling, because that's technically gambling. And so is this, by the way, even though he keeps saying he doesn't think it is. You can get a sponsor for your horse. Right? Like you can technically, like most horses are sponsored by somewhere. But that's what I mean. So then for this thing, does he want people to sponsor chariots that are NFTs in a metaverse? When the metaverse, by the way, does not even actually exist yet. So
it's a head scratcher.
Yeah, none of it makes sense. And then he keeps adding in, and like, look, we have exchange fees, bet up purchases, power up purchases. So then that's the other thing. So now there's ways to make your chariot go faster in the races. So then the races are technically not fair right off the bat.
Right.
So now we've reached an issue.
And then maybe everybody wants to get these sped up in the power
Yeah.
up. And so we're all back on the same playing field.
And then that
That's
just
purpose.
brings in even more issues upon more issues. Like, this is what I mean. It's
And
turning into
Is
unpassive.
is there any way of knowing that the races aren't rigged? There's that.
Technically, right now, no. It sounds like Tim is running a software somehow that's going to run this, which I'm also having a very hard time thinking. And maybe some of my tech people, if you're out there in the chat, can let me know. But I'm even thinking about like building this as a software, and it's making my head hurt because I don't know how you would even be able to run this thing unless it was automatic in some way. But then it sounds like he doesn't want it to be automatic in any way because he's talking about chariots like crashing into each other, being in the metaverse. So then technically if you're in the metaverse with a headset, then you're controlling it. I would assume. Like, do you see what I mean? We're just getting into a lot of like, even in the tech realm, it's a stretch where I don't know. Because again, then Tim would be running it all. So then, yeah, all the races could be rigged. And then the house is always going to win.
Yeah.
It's how it works in gambling anyway. So again, we're hitting walls here where this doesn't work as a viable business for anyone who joins this thing. Because technically that's what it's supposed to be, remember? An MLM business.
That would be totally bunk. We can't do that. We have to have an infinite number of races available just in case every NFT wants to race in every single race. So we need to have the capacity to be able to race 40,000 races an hour or 50,000 races an hour. And it will just be infinitely expandable as they fill up. So there's a lot of hippodromes that could be sponsored. The NFT rentals, power up purchases, speed up purchases, exchange fees. You know, just within the last couple of days, there's been a lot of brainstorming. After meeting with a lawyer and finding out technical things and terms and what may classify us as gambling, what may classify us as a security, it was kind of like back to the drawing board a little bit. Not fully, but a little bit, which was really cool because what was hammered out, I feel is like more fun. So revenue potentials. I want you to keep in mind that these are purely speculative. I have no idea what the success of this game is going to be. I have no idea what the
like you gotta give
success
them
of
that.
this game is going to be. I only know that we can do the best that we can and kind of follow the roadmap that was laid out from the successful people before us with our own modifications and twists that we feel make it even better. Let me just pop into the chat real quick and see if we have any questions.
Probably a lot of questions. You're not making
Is the headset included for the ZC co-founders? No. So if you buy a founder's card at 0.4 Ethereum, we're going to give you an NFT when we mint, but we cannot send you a headset with that NFT. Yes,
Okay.
you buy a character. Are we doing co-founders? Sorry, BR. You are buying your founder's positions, just giving your NFT that Chariot card. I think you guys are handled in here. Let me close out that chat. Okay. Revenue potentials. Speculative. Educated guesses.
Said that. We got that.
Math.
Okay.
Really, it's math.
Do you know math?
That's all I can come up with. It's math. They're educated guesses. Our
The
figures are
MLM math.
big because
I
the
like
amount
that
you can win is big. Because our idea is big. And that's going to drive players to our game.
I don't see any math, Tim.
Remember, we're only going to have 10,000
Not
NFTs in
because the thing's in the
circulation.
way.
That's the plan when the game goes live. And the goal is to have built a community of a couple of million people.
Oh, wow.
We have a couple of million people and only 10,000 characters to play. I think we're creating what's called demand. And then as long as the game is good and the demand is there, we can always mint more NFTs. And I hate to even say it, but pump up these numbers even more. And it's kind of embarrassing to even say that. I admit it. But the following figures that you're going to see here are based on only 25% usage of our characters, meaning only 1 in 4 NFTs are going to be used at any time and not all of them at once. So
I don't even know
that
how
is even kind of hard to figure in my mind. If we have 10,000 NFTs, a
10,000
community of a couple of million, I mean, if we have 40,000 people that want to play the game, every NFT will be taken. 50,000, 100,000, there's a waiting line. In my mind,
That's real high right now.
okay, but bear in mind, these
I
numbers
know.
seem ridiculous, and I've cut them down over and over again. I truly have. Nicole told me those are too big. Al says those are too big. Mike, well, help me cut them down. I don't know how to cut them down. If this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing. And this is what we're doing. Try not to jump ahead because I didn't do any animations in here. Okay, just stick with me on the top line. Don't read below it. Speculative numbers at best. 1 hour rental of an NFT comes with power-ups and speed-ups for each race. Total of $150. 75% of the time, the racers will be renters. I don't expect the NFT owners to be glued to their computers and VR sets playing 100% of the time. NFT owners are going to receive $50 out of that 100. Okay, $50 an hour for renting out your NFT.
Where's the other
100 divided by
$50?
5 equals $20 per racer revenue for Zeus's Chariots.
Oh, to you.
Per racer. 240,000 races per day is what is needed to accommodate 25% of our NFTs. These are not full usage. Races per day, 75% is 180,000 races ran by renters.
MLM
$20 times 10 racers, $200 per race. 180,000 times 200 is $36 million per day. 36 million times 30 is 1.2 billion monthly revenue, plus 360 million from NFT owners that are renting their power-ups. Because as an NFT owner, you don't just get the power-ups and the speed-ups for free. There's going to be one power-up, one speed-up that you're going to be able to use per race. It's going to give you like a 5-second advantage or allow you to damage another chariot, whatever the case may be. They're going to be
now I can damage it. Oh, great.
$10 per race.
Rent them out like
each,
crazy.
So 20 for the two. So this additional revenue is from NFT owners that want to be competitive and try to win races. So ad revenue is approximately 150 million a month. I honestly, I have no idea how to figure this out. None. I know how much publishers pay for ad views, things like that.
No, really.
But I just don't know because there's so many ad placements that we could do, but we don't want to do we don't want it to be grotesque. Ads everywhere. We don't want it to be obnoxious. We're going to have a free version where there's going to be obnoxious ads. We don't need the paying customers to have obnoxious ads. Swap fees. When you want to go from ZC coin to BNB or BTC or whatever it is, there's going to be a fee. And raise purchases.
Why wouldn't there be?
We're considering having something like a shield because we kind of changed the gameplay maybe a little bit.
Is this like medieval times?
And we're going to go over that.
Yeah, right?
Like,
Here in
what
just
is
a couple
going on
slides.
right now?
In-game purchases. Maybe you want to change the way.
Well, you know, in one of the videos that we did, somebody talked about jousting, that they could joust in between. And it's like, yeah, medieval times. And
Like, I swear to God, this man thinks he's building medieval times metaverse and that people are going to come and rent out chariots just all day long. Like, where are all these people coming from? They'd all be inside Zeus's Bounty. And that would be it. Like, I don't understand what he thinks is going to happen. And then he also brought up that there'll be another free version of the game, which I know we'll all download and play, I'm sure.
oh, I can't wait.
And it will have lots of ads on it because the paying customers don't deserve ads, but they're going to be sponsored and there's going to be sponsorships on it somehow. Yeah, figure that one out. At this point, I'll pay you if you do because my head went boom. Like I don't Jesus Christ. I feel like I'm listening to him just pulling numbers out of his arse right now.
Yeah, I do too.
Like, I don't even know where he gets
I don't even know how he came up with these numbers. You
I
know,
have no clue how it came. At least he admits that he has no clue about ad revenue. I'll at least give him that. But other than that, I'm not impressed, and I still don't understand how any of this is going to work. And
The way your character looks, or your horses, or your chariot, or whatever. There's going to be other revenue sources that we can't even think of. Told you it was insane. I told
it's
you.
insane, all right.
I'm sorry. And what it does is it takes about 40% or more of the gaming revenue to back our token and keep the floor price at $2.50.
oh, that's right, because it has that token too. So, all right.
Every single thing
Okay, and
about
this-
this is just give me money. Give me money.
Yeah.
Give me more money. Buy this for money. Buy that for money. Give me money. That's all I hear from him.
This is kind of the magic. This is why our races will want to be ran, because they're
Johnny
going to be
Hayden
worth
never grew out of
solid
that.
money. With an estimated floor price of $2.50 and hundreds of millions going into liquidity every month, this could make this one of the most stable coins out there. And it could trade for hundreds of percents
That happens
over
when
the
jumping
floor
off
price.
the ridge.
So many of these coins out there are trading for
When monkeys
50,
fly,
100, 1,000 times what their like liquidity floor price would say they should trade for. We're shooting for 4x. Okay. If our coin can trade for 4 times more than our floor price at $10, then each race there's going to be 30 coins up for the taking, $300. Each weekend, you could win 100 or more in a single race if you qualify. Okay, $1,000. At the end of the month, you could be racing for 1,000 coins, 10 grand. And at the end of the year, you could be racing for more than $1 million. And guess what? If we're off by 90% on these estimates, we still have $1 billion a year gain. If we miss the mark by 90%, I mean, if these numbers are so wrong, that with 10,000 NFTs in a community of a couple of million, that we can't do, 1 in 4 chariots being raced, then if we're off by 90% of that, we still have $1 billion a year company, again. So some key facts. Skill-based games are less likely to be considered gambling. Some of the things that we've learned after meeting with lawyers. Originally, this was going to be RNPG, computer-determined results. Turns out, we don't like that. Okay, that's frowned upon. So we are probably going to be switching to a 100% skill-based game. And it's not like a skill-based game where these first-person shooters where, the second you play, you get sniped and you're dead. I've done that with my kids. Horrible experience. Skill in this game is going to be how fast you start, how you take the turns, when you deploy your power up. Those are going to be the skills that are involved. Nothing too serious. The current plan is to not be able to buy your way to victory. We do not want to make this a game where the people who can spend the most money make the most money. We want to make it more fair than that. So currently there are no advantages for any given character, other than the fact that there's a possibility some gods may earn a higher percent than others, so we can create some rarity
Hold on, can you
for
pause there?
Zeus and
I know, I'm
Ares and
annoying.
Poseidon versus kind of the lower gods.
So there's no advantages, but then you can buy power ups.
yeah.
I'm almost speechless, and that never happens to me, as we know. I don't even know what to say. Like, you just went on a whole rant, Tim. And yeah, what gods are we using? Because we've learned that this man does not know a thing about Greek mythology or anything to do with the Romans. Nothing. He doesn't know anything about anything. And I'm just really scared We're going to have Ice Poseidon going against Zeus. We'll have Satan out there. It'll be a great time. Jesus will be racing. I don't know what's going on anymore with this thing. But I feel like he just took away everything he just told us in the last slide. Or like 2 slides ago. Yeah, he'll be Hermes. Okay? That's...
You know, the brothers and sisters that were kind of not talked about too much in history. But other than that, Zeus isn't going to have any other advantage in the race over a soldier.
Do you think he would have one?
Okay, it's going to be equal.
It's his bounty.
Ideas. Straight up prize pools that pay first through third. Okay, that is the most gambling-esque type of scenario that we have. Even though you won't be paying or staking per game because I've eliminated the entry fees. It's still gambling-esque. There's a lot of things that we can do to kind of change that a little bit. We can do random drops on the track of coins. We can award coins per lap based on the place.
Okay, but these random drops, that could be rigged too. Let's just be real.
That's still gambling. He couldn't have met with a lawyer and they were like, listen, if you put random drops of coins during this race, it's no longer gambling, Tim. That didn't happen. This is an r/that happened moment, Timmy. Nobody told you that.
That you're currently in.
Gambling.
So if it's a 10-lap race, there's 30 coins available. Lap 1, you're in first place. You pick up 3 coins. Okay. Lap 2, you're in third place. You pick up 1 coin.
Are they Bitcoins?
What if you had the ability to take?
I actually think it's his tokens, but he's calling them coins now. Or maybe he does have a coin in addition to tokens. I don't know.
I don't know if we'll ever know. These are just ideas. Nothing here matters. He even says, none of this is written in stone. I just wanted to come on and tell you all the possibilities for an hour.
I will say, Johnny, I'm with you on that. I would like this game too.
I'm down. Hang him on the cross.
Oh my gosh. And you know, I think there's a new chick that all of a sudden has popped up on passive that seems to have taken Susie's spot.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Anyway.
Yeah, she's
back
a fun
to Timmy.
Got another Chariot, right? You can smash into them, deploy your power up in your spiked wheels. You smash their wheels, they go flying off their Chariot. Boom, they're out of the race. You receive every coin that they picked up during that race. But also, what if we have the ability to deploy a shield in the middle of the game? It's not one of the power-ups that you have to buy before you go in. But maybe you're running the race, you're doing really well, you got a bunch of coin, you're almost done. Man, I'm going to get that power-up for $10. Boom, I'm going to protect my coins. Or maybe mid-race, you can bank your coins, but there's a fee attached to it. You want to protect your coins? You got 10 coins in the race right now? Hit bank. Boom. You hit bank, coins get banked. They're no longer in danger, but you pay a fee for it.
What?
So many things that we can do.
Guys.
You know, one of the things that we're going to be doing is we're always going to be doing something.
You know, this is like let's play pretend, right?
I don't even know. This man just went on about all the power-ups you could buy. Then he decided that there was no advantages and that everyone was on the same playing field. And now we're back to how you can buy a sword and cut off someone's head and crash into their chariot and take them out of the game because you have spikes on your wheels. So I don't even know what's happening. I'm very confused.
And like what you can do with the coins that are being dropped randomly in the game.
And yeah, then you can bank them. Where am I banking them? Where am I?
Or you can just protect them with a shield. That's going to be $10. I just see this like every time there can possibly be a fee, there's a fee. So that who's making the money? Timmy is making the money.
I swear to God, this man came up with fees and things that you have to pay for that are just unnecessary, just so that he could grab money from you any way he could. See, he's acted like the reason why he's doing these coin drops is so that it's not gambling. As I pointed out, that doesn't take away from the gambling. I hope he gets a better lawyer because they'll even tell him that. So it's like, what it really is like you just pointed out, a way for him to just get another fee off of you for when you want to use these coins. Like, he literally comes up with any way possible to charge people money for something in this thing.
Something new. We're always going to be creating something new. And I don't mean like a new game, a new opportunity. I mean new arenas, new hippodromes, new chariots, new horses, new characters, new places to race, right? We don't always have to be confined to a hippodrome. Maybe the end of the year race takes place in Rio de Janeiro, right? Or Las Vegas or Paris. And we can create that environment. We can create the environment where people could hang out on ledges and stoops and lean over buildings and watch the races and have this huge, huge show. And we could bring chariot racing right back into the forefront. And maybe we can even make the highest paid esports player currently
I feel like
chariot
that's
racer.
what it sounds like,
Not League of Legends or CSGO or whatever it is that they're playing and making all that money. Maybe we can make it a chariot racer. How freaking cool would that be?
How are you racing chariots?
We also intend to have a free to earn mode. Okay. We want to open this up to the masses. Basically, it would be like 100% free version where you can still earn some money to play. The other game mode would basically pay for this version. Although now I've worked out a new model since I made up these slides, even though I made up these slides today, where it actually makes the free version self-sustainable and actually profitable. But either way, it acts as a lead-in to our main game. Okay, you can log in, you watch an ad, you race with 9 others for a total prize pool of something. Don't mind what I said here. This is not accurate. Speculation, not written in stone. It's already changed since I wrote this slide. Okay, but then you're going to have a minimum bank in order to cash out. At which point you're going to need a wallet to accept Zeus coin. Okay, so it's a lead into our game. And there's always going to be exchange fees. There's always exchange fees on the blockchain. So we want to make this game as fun as possible, even if there was no money involved. We want you to have fun, and we want people to want to play the game, even if they couldn't make money, because it's going to be high action, adrenaline releasing, challenging, a cool environment with unique art. And people should just want to play it for the fun of it. Let me check the chat. Plus, we have an awesome gameplay. Yes. Where we grab a coin, lose it's on you, longevity. Yeah, I would be a millionaire if all these features were in Mario Kart. Dude, exactly, brother. Exactly. And you know what? You guys are welcome to input your thoughts into our NFT discussion group. I'd love to hear them. Give me some tips. And we're going to be having another meetings for all of the people who have already bought their founders cards. And this is part of being a founder of our game. Okay, you're going to have a little bit of input on what we're doing. And we want your input. It's actually going to be part of your responsibility. Because what we're going to be offering you here tonight, if you haven't already purchased one of our founder cards, we have founder drone cards on sale right now on OpenSea. And you're going to get your share of 5% of gaming revenue for the life of our game. There's only 250 shares available, and that's all there will ever be. And we're already 50% sold out. Okay, they're only 0.4 Ethereum.
You know, curious, when we first came across this, it seemed like, in some ways, a copy of On Passive, like many of the same ideas. Mm-hmm. And I do think they're all the same.
All of the scammers are very much the same. They all have very similar traits, way of speakings, manipulative ways of putting things, all kinds of different manipulation tactics that are similar, and they all like to talk a lot.
Yeah, it's about $1,200. I know I say only, but really, I think it's only. You get voting rights in the game, an NFT when we mint, no headset, and you're going to get first access to all the new things introduced into the game. And there's going to be a lot of things that we introduce into this game. And you guys are always going to get your grab at it first at a huge discount compared to what we launch it at. And you're also going to be able to get a $200 referral bonus if you refer somebody over to one of our founder cards, whether you are a founder card owner or not. I have a website that you guys can use, and I'll drop that link in the chat here right now. Let me just type it out. Bear with me. So it's a little bit of an arduous process because the person you sent, oh, I only sent that to panelists. Hold on. And I'm the only panelist except for Daniel.
The tech guy, guys.
Because there's no way to track referral sales on OpenSea. In fact, I should do https://.
We didn't know to do that when we were leaving the link.
There's no way to track affiliate sales on OpenSea. So if you send a prospect to that page, they're going to just give me their name and their email. Then I'm going to shoot them an email, ask them who referred them. And then when they go and buy a card, I'm going to be able to pay their referrer. So $200 to help us sell these out. You're going to get your share of 5% of owner for the life of the game, voting rights in the game, early access to everything that we do, and in a minted NFT. We're probably actually going to create special characters.
Okay, so this sounds like he's encouraging people. This referral bonus, isn't that recruiting? You're being paid to recruit?
Yes, you are being paid to recruit, and he's running it like on passive, where instead of him actually having a place where these people, when they sign up underneath their referrals, they just kind of end up in the system like that. He apparently needs to email each person and ask them who their referral is. In other words, upline is, and then do it that way, which just sounds very confusing to me. But I guess when you're trying to make a whole virtual reality game, you can't pay attention to little details.
Pesky things.
Yeah.
Just for you guys. So it ought to be really cool. And let me grab.
So great.
Let me grab my OpenSea link and drop it in the chat for you guys. If somebody besides me referred you here, make sure you let me know who they are.
Oh my God.
We're paying this out pretty quickly as they come in.
Yeah. How many have you given out?
It's not working. 404 error code. Zeus Bounty. Oh, you're right. That wouldn't work at all. I'm so used to writing Zeus Bounty. That's what I wrote.
Is it not that anymore?
There. That one will work. I apologize. Force of habit. All right. Let me get back to my controls. Back to my screen. And that is the end of our presentation. You guys have any questions?
I've got a lot. I don't know if you got time.
Yeah, the refer bonus was very quick deposit. Yeah, it was, Jeff. We try to get right on it.
Yeah,
we're going to be working now, Phil.
Yeah.
Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, that option's been dropped because we're not actually going to do a minting until right before the game launches. And everything that we dispersed, we decided that giving you guys the NFTs was going to be far more valuable than just giving you coins. So no, you won't get a headset unless you buy a Chariot tier, but they're like $300, so they're not that bad, and you don't need any computer or anything to support them. Co-founders get character NFT, yes. Where I think we're going to mint you guys your own god, and you guys will be the only ones that ever have those. And we're still deciding on which network to even run this on. I think we're going to go with B&B. It's fast, it's cheap, it's pretty easy to get. It's better than Polygon or Matic because it's easy to get. There's no bridge that you need. Yeah, you're welcome, John. I want to thank every single one of you that have already bought your cards, that have pushed this to your friends, to your family, to your coworkers. It is a great help to what we're doing here. We can't do this without you. The cost is 0.4 Ethereum, which is about $1,200, give or take, depending on gas. And Ethereum's down right now, like $2,500. So that's actually 20% less than it was last week. Yeah, that's good timing. Excellent. So feel free to use that website. It'll give them a little bit of an idea. It'll give us some communication. Because I really do want to track who sent who, make sure everybody gets paid. And that's the best way for me to do it. It's a little bit manual. It's a lot of work. But that's okay. Boom. Time to buy another one, Martin. You know it, buddy. We're really excited about this. And the fact that we're doing something different is going to make this game a little bit more accessible than a lot of the games out there that are making hundreds of millions. Billions.
Doesn't mean you're going to.
So awesome.
But okay.
Well,
Tim.
unless there's any more questions, I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting. I want to thank everybody. Yeah, invest now for your future. And look at other NFT projects, but be careful. If you have questions about any other NFT projects, feel free to message me. Okay, and I will look at the projects.
Can you hear me, Tim?
And I will enjoy doing it because that's what I'm doing. I'm looking at projects all the time, looking at what they have, looking at their artwork, looking at their white papers, looking at their tokenomics.
Ugh, this is gross.
Awesome. No, I can't hear you, Daniel. That's weird.
Yeah, Dan.
Because you're a panelist. I should be able to hear you.
Yeah, Dan,
Yeah,
get with
I'm
it.
talking. You can't hear me? Mouse moving.
Yeah, I see your microphone moving up and down like you're speaking, but
I don't know, buddy.
oh, there you go. Hey, I was muted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Santiago had his hand up. I've been meaning to tell you that. There were a couple other questions I saw. I think you handled them by now.
Oh, okay. Cool. I hope I did.
Santiago is the only one I see a hand up over there.
Okay.
There's only like one question.
Awesome. Well, cool. Thank you guys very much. This
You're
is
welcome.
recorded, so I'm going to send out the recording to everybody.
Yay.
Hope you have a great rest of your night. Tell everybody about what we're doing and bring them over. Oh, hold on. We got a hand raise.
I want to keep my friends.
Let me see.
They would hate me if I did this to them.
Let
I
me
might
see
send
if I
this
can
to
get
some of
it.
my enemies. That could be fun.
You know, they should put the raised hand right on top so I don't have to go searching for it.
Really,
There it
Tim?
is. Tim. No, Steven.
Tim.
Allowed to talk. What's up, buddy?
You can help me buy it. I have it on the exchange. Want to buy the NFT?
What's that?
You said you're gonna help me buy the NFT.
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't, are we connected on Telegram at all or Facebook?
I can add you on Facebook.
No, don't.
I don't think we are though.
No.
Are you in any of the Telegram groups?
Oh, damn it.
I could join one of those real quick.
No.
Yeah, you could do that, or you can send me an email and then I'll send you a private Zoom link and we'll hop on and do that.
Okay.
Cool. I dropped my email in the chat.
You did used to, Angel.
Let me drop it again and it's scrolled up already.
Wait, Zeus one.
Yeah, you got it.
When we looked
Okay.
them up there.
Yeah, cool. Shoot me an email and then I'll respond to that with a link.
Okay.
Awesome.
What? No. No.
All right, guys. Thanks again. Have a great night.
We lost one.
Well, I'm kind of wondering if now how do I hang on a second now? How do I get rid of this damn thing?
Unshare it from the screen. Should be able to.
I don't see an unshare. Remove from stream. There we go. Okay, remove from stream. I figured it out. Yay me.
We did it.
Yeah, Dan has a channel. There used to be videos. There's no videos on it anymore. And I'm sorry, Beth, what were you saying?
Oh, I don't even remember. All I know is that this man just made my entire brain hurt.
Well, Johnny had said, and I agree that, no questions is a bad sign. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Okay, that person that had the question, I think that was probably like set up. So people think that, like, oh, look, someone's interested in this.
It
I
did
have,
sound pretty scripted
yeah.
and odd.
And I think the reason why Tim was all like unmuting everybody was to try to get engagement and excitement, and it really didn't happen. Just kind of like egg on face right there. I don't think there was a big crowd.
It didn't look like it, and you can see, I don't know if you noticed, but they had the little chat at the bottom, and you can see like how many comments every once in a while. It wasn't going crazy or anything. So I
No, it
don't
wasn't.
think they did. Now, to be fair though, let's be honest, apparently Nicole was also doing a ZB webinar at the same time, which, by the way, great planning, Tim.
Right.
Great planning. As the CEO of the company, I just found it funny that he was just kind of like, oh,
Oh, I'm
like,
surprised for this.
yeah, like I double booked this. And then Nicole told me, I feel like she might be most of the brains behind this. I'm just throwing that out there.
That's what I was thinking, that Dan posed the question. That's what I was thinking, yeah. And Dan was the guy that came on our chat the first time that we covered this bounty.
Yeah, he came on to let us know that Zeus was not a god. And he was very upset with us for claiming he was one. And then he got very upset because we wouldn't let him up on the stream. And then he just basically left. And I haven't really seen him since. He hasn't tried. So at least he's not like a harassing person. I'll give him that.
And
Some
Tim
of
made
them are.
comments on like my first video, but hasn't come back or anything.
Yeah, like same. He wrote me a comment on my first video, which I think was right around the time he was here, which isn't too weird. But then yeah, he hasn't been back. He hasn't bothered me on any of my other videos or anything. So I will give him that. At least he just came to say his piece.
On Behind MLM, I want to say that Tim has made more comments there. Let me see.
Oh, Tim is very upset with Oz. If you ever want to have a really great time and you're bored on the internet, instead of going to Logcow or Kiwi Farms like a loser, what you can do is you can go to behindmlm.com and then just read comments of the scammers getting angry that they're put on there. And then read Oz's comments in response.
Yeah, Oz is always funny.
You will die of laughter the entire time. If I am ever in a bad mood, that's where I go to cheer myself up. I go and I check out the comments on Behind MLM. Because, yeah, and ever since Zeus's Bounty has been talking about it, Tim has made several appearances. He's very angry at us for discussing this, and basically wants him to take down all of his articles. And Oz is just throwing singers at him.
Call it Oz the scam.
Oh, and yeah, don't call it a scam. Don't call it gambling, even though, like, that is what this is. Anything to do with NFTs and cryptocurrency, I feel, is automatically gambling. But then when you bring in racing, and it's dependent on weird things where you have to buy stuff for your chariots, and then you're picking up coins on the racetrack, and that's still gambling. Like, all of that, this is technically gambling. And I don't know where in future, especially if all these scams keep running, by the way, because I'm sure there's a good legal way to do some of this. As is with every business out there, there can be a good legal way to go about it. It's just we always come across them when they're not going about it that way. And I'm sure that there would be a way to figure out how to do some kind of like cryptocurrency and have it work out where it would be like legal and people would be able to track it and, do all that kind of stuff. But right now we just don't have that.
Well, he did admit on the very first one that we did, he did say it was a Ponzi scheme. So he straight up called himself out.
But the thing is that it still appears to be true, because as I was ranting in our last little technical difficulty stream, like, I don't know how this thing would work without it being one right now. Because like, he keeps talking about how the money is going to go into it and how you're going to pay a bunch of stuff for it. But there's not very much about how you're making money other than if you rent out your chariots.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that's about. And I also don't understand renting of NFTs. I feel like that's just a very iffy, weird area. Just in like everything about it is just really icky to me. And it's like we have enough problems, like I said, with these fake NFTs and stuff out here. So like, add renting them into that, and we're just creating a whole other bag of problems. I feel like it's almost like it's been so complicated.
Yeah.
So that people could scam it. It's a very weird world, the cryptocurrency realm, and it's very dangerous, and I do not recommend for anyone. And if you are ever messing around with any of it, please, the best advice I can give you is, like I said, don't ever invest money that you are not willing to kiss goodbye. If you are not willing to never see the money again, do not put it into this or anything, really. That's just how you should look at investing, just in general.
Tomorrow, so that you guys know, I may or may not have a stream. My husband is going to have an evening off, and like,
I think we should skip tomorrow so that you and your husband can have an evening together.
Well, it all depends on what time that he's able to get here. I mean, if it's not until like 8 o'clock, well, then I would be able to do something earlier, but I don't know. And right now he's dealing with the new wine guy. So when he gets home, I'll be able to find out, well, what days is this wine guy going to actually be working, so that you would have some nights off, which I will really welcome. So there's a good chance that I will not be around tomorrow, but Friday, we can either do looking at where Freeway to Success fits in with On Passive.
I would kind of like to do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking like, let's look at that.
I would really like to look at that, because I think that's our next step.
Well, and I found
Trying to
some
figure
other
that
things
out,
that
'cause-
are related to it, or it's like the same thing but slightly different.
Mhm.
The guy who created Freeway to Success, has
Oh yeah, probably.
it's like
I bet
there's
that
just a
doesn't
lot of
surprise
stuff. So
me.
we would just be looking at a smattering of all kinds of things. But we do know that Ash did use Freeway to Success at one time, and we have no idea, is he still a member of it? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he is.
I am going to say, though, that he has been talking a lot about selling physical products, which led our red flags to kind of go, is that where he's getting them from? Because, well, we've seen how long it takes Ash to make a product. So,
well, there's a couple of different things that are related to Freeway to Success. That is like, is he going to use this too? Or all of these things part of it? It's all that things that make you go, huh? We're just speculating over like, does this fit in? Could he be using it? So I think it'd be a good discussion for all of us to have together.
yeah, that would be fun.
We don't have all the answers, but we sure as heck can find stuff to talk about, and kind of.
We get answers while we do these, though.
Do what?
Like, we'll end up with answers. We have people in the chat that know information sometimes. They drop us, or after we do a stream, people will like come and comment or write us an email letting us know stuff. So to me, all of the streams are helpful, even when we are just sitting here. Like our live dives. Sometimes you don't have to know everything when you go on, as long as you're looking for it together.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we don't know everything right now about this, but we're going to all find out together. Sometimes that's more fun.
I think it's more fun than when I just do all the research myself. I enjoy being able to engage with other people and discuss it. And
I love research streams. I have some friends that just do streams where they just come on and research stuff, and I'm always right there. Like, what are we researching today? What do you need me to Google and look up? I think it's fun, so I love it.
I
I
do
would much
too.
rather do it with a live stream chat than like just sitting here in my living room. The only good thing is I usually have my husband around me, so I can be like talking to him the whole time, but I talk out loud a lot when I'm researching. So at least if I'm on a live stream, I'm talking to other people.
Yeah, there you go.
He's just like, stop hurting my head with this scam stuff every day.
So in a way, I guess we'll be back to a part of on passive, or possibly a part of on passive. It's related to Ash. I know that.
I have a feeling that by the end of it, we're going to be pretty solid on the fact that it is going to be related to on passive.
Just like most things.
That's how it ends. Usually we start off going, is this what's going on here? And then by the end, we're like,
oh, yeah, that's what's going on.
I think it is what's going on here. So even with this, it's like, we basically thought that these chariot races was just a way for him to get more money out of people. And that's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
There is nothing about this that has not just been a money grab. Even the exchange, and to pull money out, he's going to charge people, which, by the way, he doesn't have to. He's in control of charging that. And especially if he's running his own like ZB wallet, which it sounds like he wants to do, he's in charge of the fees then that he's charging people.
He's willing to charge people those fees.
Yeah, it's not like he's stuck there going, oh no, guys, sorry, it's $7 extra. No, he's the one that's like, it's gonna be $7 extra every time you do this. So again, if he was caring about you and your business and you making money in all of this, would he be coming up with all these extra fees for things that you would have to
be coming up with fees so that he can bank more?
Probably not, right? It's all just a money grab for him to make as much money off of each person in that thing as he possibly can. And then almost create a false sense that they'll be able to make money off of the other people in it too. And then somehow there's going to be a downline. Again, I'm still having a hard time fitting in how all of these things are going to all be working at the same time within the same business structure, and how these downlines are expected to do all of these things every day. Because he's all like, oh yeah, I don't expect the chariot owners to race 24/7. So when they're not racing, they'll just rent theirs out. And it's like, so then the rest of the time, are they over in Zeus's Bounty running the business over there? Or like, it's hurting my head.
Anyway, I'm going to go and just lay on a heating pad and find something to entertain myself, to watch and snuggle with Chalupa and Tamale Wally Doodle. That's my
husband and I are watching a funny movie. We were watching a really funny movie. And then I realized it was like 6:30 and I was like, I gotta go and get ready to stream. And he was like, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry I interrupted your movie time.
No, you didn't. Because I knew I had to stream tonight anyway. I just lost track of what time it was when I started the movie. It was my fault.
I'm looking for a horror movie to relax to. I know, odd, but horror movie.
Do you use Tubi at all?
Do what?
There's this great streaming site that I've been using called Tubi, and it has a lot of the like old horror classics and stuff on it. You should check it out. And there's also that new streaming site that's just horror ones. Maybe someone can let you know. I forget the name right now.
That's called Shudder.
Yeah, I think that's it. Shudder.
You have to pay for that one. So, I mean, I already have Hulu, Prime, Netflix.
Yeah, so you're probably good.
I mean, I've got a ton of things. I don't want to go and pay for anything else.
No, I use Tubi for free too. We stopped using Netflix when Cuties came out.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Looking at all the people that are still using Netflix after they said they wouldn't, just saying. So yeah, we don't use that one anymore because then also the price went up, and I was like, I was gonna watch TV for free, sis. I'll be out. But there's like so many free ones, so yeah, we just do that.
Okay, my dears, I guess We
I'm
will.
gonna watch a movie. She's gonna do the heating pad. The rest of you guys have a fabulous, fabulous evening.
Yes. And don't forget you're beautiful and I love you and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.
Oh, not tomorrow.
Maybe not.
It's Friday.
We'll
Maybe
let you know.
tomorrow, I'm not sure. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your evening. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all my fabulous mods. Thank you for those of you participating in the chat. Thank you for lurkers. Just basically thank you, everyone. And Beth, as always, thank you. All right. So we'll see you
Thanks for
next
coming back.
time.